How you doing?
Good.
Good. Last time I said that, nobody even answered. Nobody even said anything. So I was scared to ask. But I'm glad you're doing good.
Scolded us, so.
I'm glad you're doing good. I am.
You guys ready?
Start with a positive.
That's. I was hoping. I was hoping you would. Actually, I thought he's gonna give me another negative right out of the gate. Right out of the gate.
SMU 28 points. Nobody else on the team is giving you that production, at least consistently on a nightly basis. How is that spark? How's it sparking the team?
Well, it's a great weapon, and let's just. I'd like to go back to partly why Shimmy is doing as well as he is. I just love guys that are so passionate about their craft, whatever it is, but we're talking about basketball right now, that they live it and they breathe it, and their passion for it is so strong that they can hardly stay away from a day of trying to get better at it. And I guess what I'm trying to say is Shimmy spends as much time in the gym. I can't imagine there's anyone in the country that spends more time away from practice time working on his game, and that's near and dear to my heart. So he deserves every good night that he gets, and I'm not surprised, and I think there'll be a lot more really big nights for him, partly because of his talent, but partly because of his will, and also partly because he's a very difficult matchup. He really is. He can do many things. He can shoot it, he can drive it, he can post it, and he can rebound, and that's pretty complete. So hard matchup, and on a given night, maybe last night wasn't a big offensive night. I thought he did really well, but there are going to be more nights like this, I think, in my opinion. I think other guys will have big nights as well.
If you're going against him, what are the toughest things in order to contain him that you try to do?
If I told you, I'd have to kill you. In all seriousness, it would be a difficult one. Do you have a guy that can match up in all areas with his strength, his quickness, his shot, inside, outside? So, do you want to put two people over there? Do you want to really shade it? But I think that's the beauty of our team, which I talked about from day one. We've got a lot of different guys that can shoot the ball. It'll be different, which is why I love having a number of guys that can shoot the ball and stretch the floor, because it makes it difficult to, skew your defense in any direction. So that would be one way, but if you do that, then, we have ways to counter that, and some people don't have that luxury. So honestly, I just think it's a tough question, and you'd have to have just the right guy, I think, to be able to guard him.
You talked last night about the concern of playing on back-to-back nights, and when you have that plus the amount of hours that Shimmy puts in the gym, are you surprised that he was able to give you a performance like this tonight?
Not surprised, just because his energy level, strength level is very unusual. So he's a guy that he can take an incredibly large workload and work with it. I just never feel like he's tired. I mean, he might fake it, but I just never ever feel like you can wear him down, And I also thought he would. We talked about it beforehand, this coaching staff, because he didn't have a great offensive night. He did very well, but we thought we even called. We said he's going to have a big night tonight, and definitely he did. I just want to talk about, if I could. I'm so appreciative of a guy who's had some big nights for us, but statistically did not tonight. Ben, has had many nights that look better on paper, but what he did last night and what he did tonight, when he had to run out off the court and get stitches in his mouth and on his mouth to come back in the game, and you saw how important during that game he was when he was gone, and then when he got back in, you know how important Ben is to us. And then, you know, the day after is worse. You know, your adrenaline's gone, the pain is severe, and there wasn't a thought. You know, he's out there playing in pain. He can barely talk. I can't understand him when he asks me questions. He's mumbling. He's got all his stitches, and I mean, it wasn't even a question. He's going to play. He's just going to play, and I just think it speaks to him. I love him. I think he's, you know, he and Sterling as seniors, I don't know, it's so hard to even think about the day when they're not here. But here's another example of one of our seniors doing something that I'd really admire, and I just really wanted to make sure that everyone knew, you know, the sacrifice that he made.
How does the team benefit from the, you know, games on consecutive days? You know,
Well, we did this. We scheduled this, and we being I, and it seemed like a great idea way back when it was scheduled months ago. And I can promise you, in the last week, I've been kicking myself in the head, thinking this was not a good idea. But I will tell you the why. Okay, the why is. I think it's we did it last year, if you remember. You know, we played a back-to-back last year right at the end here, and I think it's important to feel the back-to-back, because we're going to have to play back-to-back in the conference tournament, hopefully, and it's not easy. You know, it takes a lot of emotional energy stored up and saved up to play at a very high level in a college basketball game. That I know. And I also know as humans, you know, when you do that at night, the next morning, you wake up in a whole other state. I mean, you're in a completely different state than the one you were in last night. And somehow between the time you wake up and whatever time that next game, you got to find a way to mentally talk yourself into that high emotional state to allow you to perform again. Not easy to do. And so that's why we scheduled the game. And I knew Albany's got great tradition. He's an outstanding coach. You could see that. He's an outstanding coach. They've been in the NCAA tournament I don't know how many times in the last 10 years. They are tough. They gave us a fight. We knew they'd have 3 or 4 days to prepare for us, and we had an hour and a half. You know, we spent a little time saying, well, they do a little of this and a little of that. That's difficult. We put our team in a very tough position, and it was on purpose, and they answered the bell. They really answered the bell at halftime and dug down deep, and I thought for a game to leave campus for a few days and have a break and enjoy some early Christmas could not have been a better situation. But I would be lying if I said I was just thrilled about it about 3 days ago, because I'm telling you, I was cussing myself, going, what in the world were you thinking about? So I'm really proud of our guys.
Anything else?
Yeah, you finished your non-conference schedule, and conference starts next week. Have you accomplished what you set out to accomplish?
You know,
Getting ready for the conference play?
well, I'll say this. I don't ever, you know, I don't ever think in terms of setting out to accomplish something in terms of any numbers, because I think the last thing you can control is how many you won and how many you lost, and I think I gave up on that a long time ago. I think that I have learned over time that what I always set out to do is try to make our team better constantly, and try to make our team the best they're going to be at the end of the season, so that we're going like this. And so for me, preseason is a lot about evaluating and seeing what is it we're doing that I really like, that fits our guys. What are we doing that I don't like fits our guys? And also, all right, what about our guys did we not know going in? We thought these guys would be like this, but they're more like this. I thought he would do, you know, a certain level. Maybe he's not. Maybe another guy's doing more. So I think you just constantly evaluate. But am I proud of our guys? Absolutely. We played a really, really, really difficult schedule. We played Pittsburgh, Michigan, USC, Boise, TCU, Stanford, and Albany, among others. that is one heck of a schedule, and most of them are on the road. We played a lot of games on the road, a lot of tough games away from home. I think it's been a great schedule for us to prepare, and it has also given me a clear picture. Sometimes if you play a really easy preseason schedule, it's funner, it's fun, but you don't learn quite as much early enough. And I felt like we learned a lot early on. If you're watching us close, we're doing some things differently. We're trying to, as always, as any coach is doing, we're trying to help our players be put in a situation that actually makes them play more to their talent. And I think that's going on right now. So I think it's been a very good preseason. We are going to have incredible challenges in our league for a lot of reasons. There's a lot of really, really good teams. And we're also going to have the challenges of, somehow, some way staying healthy, somehow, some way not getting into deep foul trouble, probably particularly on the road when, a lot of times when calls seem to go away from you a little bit more than they do at home. We've got some great challenges, but I like these guys. I think they want to go to battle, and they don't go down easy. And we'll continue to try to improve week by week.
Speaking of staying healthy, obviously he came back, but considering how short your bench is, what was your reaction when you saw Jeray Foster go down?
Just hyperventilating is what I do. It's a hyperventilation. So if you ever see the brown bag come out, I'm breathing in the brown bag. But yeah, I'd be lying. I'm sensitive to all those. Anytime Warren gets really involved. By the way, Warren is the best. I mean, Warren is an incredible trainer and an incredible person. I have so much confidence in him. But anytime he gets involved during a game or during a practice, probably hours, weeks, maybe years of my life are shortened a bit, and that's the truth.
Last night you rolled relatively easy. Tonight you ground out it was close early and then you pulled away a little bit. Are you going to stick with the green ties?
We were hoping the green tie would just kind of repeat itself, as you well know, although it is a great cause, Coaches for Literature and Jonathan Wilfong, spearheads that cause, and we're proud of it. But we'll have to revisit. We'll have to revisit as a staff, whether it was as effective today as it was yesterday. So that remains to be seen.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach Tracy.